Alright, we're live. Yeah. Okay, it is a little blurry. Still.
It's blurry. Yeah, it's very, very blurry.
Dude, like, what the fuck?
So crazy.
It wasn't at all like this. Alright, let me play around more. But dude, like, try, like, focusing your camera.
Testing. Let me see if the audio works. Audio is good. Okay. Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, the quality of the camera is good.
Alright, let me play around. Morning, guys. I got an echo. Huh. Alright, hold on, let me see if I can check. Brad, do you have your headphones on? Okay. And you have turned off your speakers, right? Okay, good. Why not? It's fine, dude. Like, who cares about the extreme numbers? No, I don't give a fuck. Just 1 minute, it's fine. Okay. Because after a while it did stabilize last time. Alright, we'll get started soon, guys. Welcome in. Morning. Smash the like button. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. And we'll get started soon. We'll have some good-looking charts, some ugly charts. Sure. I think let's just wait like a few minutes to see if it stabilizes. I think it will. Last time it did. And this weekend, I'll see. This Sunday, we'll try to meet up a little bit and try to fix this, whatever issues.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be getting an echo here, guys. I don't know what you guys are saying, because it's just directly connected. Unless, oh, there you go. Camera fixed itself, right? You're clear now.
It's gonna break again though. I could feel it. I'm not very confident. No, it doesn't look clear. I don't think it looks clear.
Okay.
It's like not terrible, but it's fine. It's manageable. They're saying you have a little bit of an echo.
How about now? Can you guys hear me? Just do a mic testing, guys. Can you guys hear me now? 1, 2, 3. Mic testing. 1, 2, 3. Good. All good. All good. All right. I know what.
Perfect.
All right. Welcome in, guys. Morning. Happy. What is today? Forgetting. Friday. Yes. Happy Friday. Hope you guys made some money last 2 days. We had a couple of great sessions. Let's see if we can end the week strong. Smash the like button, guys. The like button needs to be destroyed. You guys need to like hit it. Every like button, and I'm gonna be like one of those WhatsApp messages. If you hit the like button, you'll end the thread green today. End the day green today. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you for the support. We'll get started in a minute. Or we can get started. It's already 8:32.
Yeah, let's jump into it. Guys, we have a lot to go over this morning. Yeah, we're still working on production quality, but we are progressing slowly. This weekend we will get it sorted out. They said I'm using Mike's webcam.
Like whatever happened, like that one day when we did the 3 stream, it broke Streamlabs. Ever since the
It
quality hasn't been good.
it broke. It broke. It's some for some reason it broke it. Anyway, guys, we have a lot to go over this morning. We're going to talk about SPY. We're going to talk about everything, a whole lot. There is some stuff happening right now on SPY, which is kind of ugly, and I'll tell you why it's ugly today. Like there is an obvious. Most of these charts this morning are not clean, right? And I'm just going to be transparent about it. I think we had a really good read the market so far up until today's session. Today's session, we unfortunately have some disgusting looking charts, and we'll talk about it. Right, we have a little bit of some news impacting the market this morning. We had some tariff news overnight. We also had some news this morning on tariffs in Canada. A 35% tariff raised against Canada. So we'll talk about that, what it means. But today's session, we're going to dive into charts or econ data first. Then we'll go back into our charts, and we'll have a good, fun Friday session where we go over everything we have to go over. So today is July 11th. Today's session, nothing of importance. There's no data to watch out for today. It's really next week where things start to heat up. Next week, we have CPI and PPI, right? So next week is all of our inflation data. So it's going to be a very exciting and volatile week. We have Tuesday CPI, core CPI, the whole lot. And then Wednesday session, we have PPI, the producer price index, right? So big inflation data Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. That's what the market is all sort of geared towards. So we'll talk about that as we get there. And then Thursday and Friday, it's just routine data, right? Nothing crazy. So next week is going to be an interesting one. Also, we are starting the earnings season. So I believe the earnings season starts either next week or the following week. It's going to start to pick up a little bit next week, and then the following week is when it really picks up. So we're now entering a new era, a new quarter, right, where we have a lot of big earnings reports. So we'll talk about that as we get there. But today's session, we're just going to talk all about charts. We'll talk a little bit what happened yesterday, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on today's session. Rav, I'll let you kick it off with the SPY chart.
SPY chart. I mean, yeah, I mean, we had a little gap down. Nothing much. We gap down by like $3. So if you guys remember, like the last Friday, I said that markets in major squeeze risk, right? Where was this last Friday? Here, right here. So and we had that big session. So today we kind of just recap the whole move. We gap down here again. Whoever shorted here is again at big risk. And then now that the market is ready to break out, BTC broke out yesterday, markets gapped down. Now today's session is tricky because they are gapping down. If they gapped up today, you could have been like, hey, maybe I'll look for a failure, maybe I'll just trade with the trend or whatever. Today they gapped down, so we really don't know what the appetite is. Do they want to take it back up, or are they going to trap longs and take it back down, right? So today I really don't have much of a bias at the open. I got to wait and see what the tape is telling me and at the open, especially first 10 minutes. And if I see like strong buyers still start stepping up, I'm going to extend my green boxes here, okay? So that you guys can see it. So this is the first level of demand that we have around 622, 621.50, and second demand's around here, right? Now, ideal scenario. Why are you laughing?
I'm looking at Rav's chart right now. I'm confused myself.
Dude, don't worry about it, guys. Like you're gonna see me like live trades. Like it's tomato. Don't worry about it. You know, this is a bunch of lines. It's just a bunch of lines. Don't let it confuse you. This is focus. You gotta go focus. You gotta focus. All right.
But I do agree though. I do agree with that demand below though. But that's that big level that I have today's session.
Yeah, so one of these levels, hope if there is a long thing, we have to take it on some kind of a bounce or something like that. Or if we just straight into rip, we have to see. I mean, the chances are, if they can somehow reclaim all these levels within the first half an hour, right, to the upside, there's a good chance that we're going to go break out and create an all-time high. You may think, oh my God, Andra, we've gapped down $3, $4. What happens pre-market is it's not a problem. Stock opens, every other stock in the S&P is going to also get volume. immediately, if there's a strong buying, we're gonna go back up. But that is an if. If there is no buying, we can sell back into demands. Now, I still think we're gonna test 615, this box here. So I've tested a couple of these boxes. So this one's tested, this one's tested, this one's tested. This hasn't been tested since the since we broke out. So there's a good chance that we could see this here. I don't know if we'll see that on a Friday, considering this box is like $7-8 away. Okay, so going in with no expectation, main focus is cash flow. We had 2 great sessions already, and so levels to watch here are today are 620 and then 620, 150 to 622. These are the demands. Upside, we got to clear this 625 area. That's now the resistance. Yesterday's high was 626.87. Okay, 625 is the first one, and then 627, the second level. Those are the 2 upside levels. That's all I have. I don't really have much. I'm not going into a session with any kind of bias. I still think there's a good chance that they break out big, even more than last week, and then top out somewhere around 635, 640 or something like that before we see a correction. But yeah, let's go in with no expectation. These are the levels, and we'll see what happens. Brett, you want to add?
Yeah, no, definitely. So I fully agree. The levels this morning are pretty simple, right? So bear with me for 1 second. I am going to just yell out a whole bunch of levels here, but I want everyone to understand what's going on today's session. The quality of my camera is going to be the quality of my words here are far more important than the quality of my camera. So on the S&P 500 this morning on SPY, the levels to watch out for it's this, right? So basically, Tuesday session into Wednesday session, we had that little bull flag breakout, right? So you guys saw the bull flag breakout happen from Wednesday into Thursday session. Thursday, we saw the continuation of the bull flag breakout. If you were a long base trader yesterday, or Wednesday session, Tuesday session, Thursday session, right? The target was 627. The target was the previous all-time highs, right? We saw a little bit of a break above all-time highs, and the market has sold off and gapped down since that break of all-time highs. You have to understand one thing. The reason why I was like bull biased the past few days was because market was consolidating over key demand, and it was a perfect hourly consolidation. Now we've already met the target for longs. So at this point, I am finger off the trigger on SPY, and I don't really have a good read here until we see what happens, right? What's going to define it for me today is it's going to be, do we lose 621? If we lose 621, which is our Wednesday's lows, then we are bearish. We're looking for a move back to 619, under 619, back to 615. So today's session is really about 621. Are we holding 621? If so, then market's holding on and it is maintaining demand. If we lose 621 or the Wednesday's lows on SPY, we sell back to 619. If you're looking for breakouts today, I don't really have many breakout trades. But the only thing I would be looking for is that same 624.50 level from yesterday's session is also applicable today. If we can clear 624.50, we can go back to 627. If you lose 621, we go back to 619. So it's pretty simple today's session. It's just, if you want the most simple levels this morning, watch Wednesday's lows and Wednesday's highs. Those are the 2 most important levels to have today's session. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. What do you think? Do we have any yes? Brad, got anything there?
I mean, I should have something. I always have ES levels. I just don't give a fuck about it. But
I knew you were gonna say that.
it's the same shit. It's a SPY ES. It's just watching the same chart and with translation version. It's the same chart. But
it's basically the same thing. I mean, it's just simply Wednesday's highs and Wednesday's lows. 620, 62.80 for me as the key demand, and 63.13 as key supply.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 6,300 is big one, and then I mean it's the same chart. Either we're gonna break these demands, the 64, what is it, 6250, and then we're gonna drop to 6200, or we're just gonna, I don't know. I don't want to say something because I just don't know. That is the real thing. I don't know today if what the appetite is going to be. Based on BTC's breakout and everything, I would say risk on mode, right? And once we kept kind of burn out all these shorts that are here, sitting here, I think market will finally top out. We've already had one kind of a squeezy move, the second one here, and then one more maybe, and market will top out. And until then, I don't know. Today's not the day to be risk on, that's for sure. Let's look at QQQ.
It's not. It absolutely isn't. But guys, the one thing I want to say is like if you want the most simple levels in ES and SPY, just simply watch Wednesday, right? Watch the Wednesday highs and lows. That's what's going to define today's sentiment.
Yeah.
Qs. What do you have on Qs, Rav? You have 550.
Yeah, 550, and then I just plotted a level 553, 553 is 550 to 50, the previous high. That's kind of where we're sitting at pre-market, and then 557ish is the all-time high.
Right.
Um,
My
this
chart
looks more
says you.
stronger though. This looks more stronger than SPY, and it's kind of just chopping. It still hasn't really given any kind of big pullbacks. SPY has gotten like a lot of like big liquidity taps. QQQ hasn't. So that just tells you how tech is like primed for more. And yeah, but these are the levels. 550 is big, 550 to 50, and then 557 50-ish area for all-time high. Um, I'd say we need to hold at least 550 today. We need to hold 550. As long as 550 holds, we're bulls. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I agree with that. It was interesting to see yesterday's session. I don't know if you guys noticed this too, but Qs were much weaker than SPY yesterday, right? So you saw the discrepancy between tech and SPY, and part of the reason why was because Rab was shorting Meta and Nvidia, so it caused the downside on the
that's what I'm
QQQ.
saying. Gang, SPY was going, but we're making money on shots.
You had all those chips, selling off, and it was that's what really fueled the downside on Qs yesterday. Was the in all seriousness, the downside was fueled by mostly chip weakness, right? And today's session on tech, it's 550, right? So you have your key demand below 550, and then if you get a reclaim of 555, that's where we get upside the market, right? So today's session, if you want to trade the QQQ today, I think you already have probably bigger problems to worry about. But I would say the levels to work off of are probably just 555 big technical level and 550 big technical level below. So that's all I have here in Qs. To be honest with you, I'm surprised you like Qs better more than SPY today. SPY to
Because
me
yesterday
is
we had that relief, right? So the idea is market is rotational, right? Yesterday, if they kind of just say, let's say they ripped Meta and they ripped Nvidia and SPY propel more. Now, one of the sectors has to sell off a little, right? So now that SPY is rallied, tech has kind of stalled or pulled back to tested demands. That's the indicator today. So morning market opens, tech strong, SPY is just gonna be bought up, and we're going to get in another squeeze risk. This is the
right.
classic sign of a rotational. Rotational squeezes happen because one sector, healthcare, goes down, tech goes up, healthcare goes down. Why SPY go up yesterday? Many sectors were green, while some of these bigger names, Apple was strong yesterday, and and then Nvidia was weak, and Meta was weak. Meta tested demand, Nvidia tested demand. They bought that back up. SPY ripped high. So today's appetite, that's kind of what all these sectors that sold yesterday, are they going to be bought up or are they going to capitulate? And that's something that what we got to wait and see. We'll see. I mean, Meta's still holding though. Yesterday tape around the 620. If you guys remember, I said, damn it. So it's actually holding. They're buying it. So they've dropped it from 630 to 620, but then 620, and I think they popped until 628 or something like that. We'll look at Meta's chart next, but it's still not. We're not like market reversal fully yet. It could happen, go either way. It's a Friday though. That's the only thing that worries me because volume kind of iffy. If we could get one of those dead drop days, or they're gonna drop and rip, one of those things gonna happen today. We'll see. But your camera's good right now.
It's good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
noticed that. It dropped out for a second, like the audio dropped out for me, but then now it seems to be decent.
Yeah.
Let's start off with our tickers. Was it Meta?
Okay. Yeah, I'll look at Meta. Let me zoom in a little so that you guys don't get an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I'm just gonna extend my boxes, but you guys can see pretty much we've just been trading with these big demand zones, right? This is how Meta trades. Yeah, big move up. This is why I didn't like it here, right? This is why I didn't like it here. I just know there's not gonna be a lot of buying action here. It's a $700 stock, right? So you're not gonna get a lot of liquidity in high areas, not a lot of risk reward. Then what happened? Sellers chase. This becomes a back retest into demand. We consolidated here several times. We took this trade here, and then eventually this big breakout happened. I believe 2 days ago. Um, but I instead of the, I mean, I personally got this, but we got a SPY trade that day on Thursday, and then yesterday happened. yesterday. We caught the short trade as well from that 730, 732 failure area. So this is what we got. So you guys can see we've dropped below one of the green boxes here. The idea is pretty simple. For us to go long, we need to get above this, right? 726, this candle high, what is it, 726, 728. If we can get above that and base above 725, we can get a long setup for me. And if not, we're going to come to this level again, which is around 715. You guys pay attention. Last Friday, this is the level that I said would hold. It did, and you could have made some money off of that level if you were paying attention. But again, if market sells, we could break this demand. If this demand breaks, this red box is where we're going to come to, which is around 705. So we got levels. We just have to wait and see. Either 725 gets reclaimed, 726 gets reclaimed, or 715 holds, or 705. Okay. Meta has one trade, you guys know it's difficult to trade. So if you don't know what to do and if you're not used to trading, just skip this. It's going to be unforgivable if you just go trade just off of a level without getting a good read on price action. Okay. But these are the three levels that I'm watching. Brett, anything to add?
No, nothing on Meta. But what I will do is we can dive into Tesla.
Okay.
Because Tesla, I feel like, is going to be an interesting one today. So, yesterday's session, this was my get back trade. This was like my recovery trade yesterday's session that started my recovery on Thursday. We took longs over that 302 area. So you saw that the big beautiful reclaim on 302. 302 broke. We pushed into 312 yesterday. So what happened yesterday on Tesla was just pure gap fill, right? So you saw the break and hold above that 302, 303 area, and we finally initiated gap fill back in 312. This was the long, like the thing I'm trying to say here, right, is if you were a bull on Tesla or you were a bull on SPY, you've already kind of gotten your move, right? You've already met the move. You already met the targets on a lot of these long base moves. So right now on Tesla, I think we stay away from it unless I can somehow get above 312 with some strong buying. I think honestly, I would be more interested in going short on this if we got back under that 303, 304 area today. The reason why I'm saying that is because this again has already met the long base move yesterday, right? So for me today, this morning, what I'd be watching for after trading yesterday's session is looking for either a clearance about 312 for longs or look for a breakdown on 304 for puts. Again, it's very similar to SPY, right? This stock has already met the bull side targets. So when a stock meets a bull side target like that, you have to let it sit for a few days because it may just consolidate. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla consolidates. If I were to trade it though, it's going to be about 312 for longs. If you clear 312, we have upside back at 320. If you lose 304 in this, I think that we go down a lot lower. And if you want to be smart today, you can maybe look for it to break down on a 302 because 304 technically is that Tuesday's highs, but it would be best case scenario if it clears under 302. Under 302, the stock just goes to 290. I don't think it stops anywhere until at least 290. So keep this on the watch. This could be a nice trade. Just stay away from it. Like if you're holding longs from yesterday, I think it's probably a good idea to scale some out and only look for re-entries if it clears back above 302. So that's my read on Tesla today. I think Tesla did a good read yesterday. Let's see what happens today on this chart.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add there?
I agree. I mean, you guys can see this big box that I've expanded. So they're kind of just like rinsing and repeating liquidity. Every pop it gets sold into.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's just one more headline risk away from us breaking that most recent low to 270. Now, fundamentally, like it doesn't matter. Like world works on a lot of things. Relationships are not good between key people. We are going to see market adjusting valuations based on that. So I agree. Today, if it can get above this red box, yeah, the 313 area, it could go long, maybe into 320. We can see highs, or maybe even we can pop into 330 next week if that happens. But this is too much of a headline risk move. Right now, they're just talking about that Grok thing on a Grok 4 release yesterday. Musk is focused on that. But the moment he loses interest on that, he's going to come back to the Bill and Epstein files and all of that, and it's not going to be fun, right? When he does that, guys, smash the like button, guys. We have like almost 1,000 people in here, and we're sitting in at 300 likes. You guys got to destroy the like button. Come on, Like, what is this?
That
Why are we
that's really
rationing
bad.
likes? Why are we rationing likes? Just hit the like button. It's not.
30%. That's a
Yeah.
30% like to view count. That's a pretty low ratio.
I'm gonna give you guys only 30% trades from now onwards. No 100% trades. This is a
30%.
scam. But I agree. Tesla mostly short biased. I'm not gonna become exit liquidity on this. If I see any sign of weakness on tape, I'm gonna actually attack it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stay. I actually like Tesla. I think I will trade it. You know, Brett. Yesterday I shorted Tesla 306.50. Those contracts moved like crack. When I dropped to
Yeah.
I think 303 or something like that. Like in $3, they moved like a couple $100 per contract, and it just tells me there's a lot of appetite to the short side. So if we get a little bit of weakness, break this 4-hour candle structure, 304, 305, I think this can capitulate back into 300. And if 300 breaks, that's going to be like a at least a drop
290.
to 293, 294, like at the very least. So it's going to be an important trade to watch today. I'm gonna switch to Amazon because I saw a few people asking. Brett, you can go over Amazon. It's your chart.
It's my chart. It's my chart. Amazon. So Amazon, guys, is in consolidation, right? You have your very clear, you have your very clear highs built at 224, 225. Because you can see that right I started there, the yellow dotted line on top, right? That little yellow dotted line on the top, that's your key supply. This chart has been in range since, at this point, it's been in range since about the 26th of June. And right now is the 11th of July. It's been in range for about 14, 15 days, 2 weeks now. The chart hasn't moved yet, right? It's basically just channeling between a key demand below at that. You see, here's a little blue cloud there at the 34 EMA. That blue cloud is like 220 on Amazon. That's your key demand, and then your key supply is 225. This chart is going to eventually make a move, right? And for me, I am more bullish sided as long as it's holding 220. You guys probably know that. We've been talking about Amazon being bullish as long as it's above 220. I would say your best possible trade at Amazon today is a break and hold below 225. This actually is a nice looking chart this morning, to be honest, right? This is the 2 week mark of consolidation. A clearance of 225 should get us back into 230 plus. So keep that in the back burner. This could be a chart to watch this morning, where you have a beautiful consolidation above 220. That's a key high from back in June. Let's watch this today above 225.
I'll just take it on momentum. If it breaks 225, it's 2 3 tests. I just take it and then like that's it. Because
Yeah.
it looks like it's primed to go. A few times already. 225 breaks. It could at least give you a $2 move. And just after that, if it fails or does what doesn't matter. Just catch a little move and you can be done with it. I like this also.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those names. Like I said, tech is consolidated like kind of preemptively before SPY did. Tech, you
Yeah.
can see this, right? So this is prime now. If Amazon, Nvidia, Meta decide to go, SPY gets keep ripping, right? And we can't really do anything about it. Just participate. There's going to be a little bit of a euphoric move before the market tops. It's not going to just top out like that. If you see fear pre-market, that is most likely going to be a trap. That's kind of how I look at it. So we'll have to wait and see. I know I've been trading a little short trades like last 2 days. Doesn't mean anything. I'm just looking at price action as is and still trading it. Overall bias still bullish. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a beautiful bull flag on Amazon, guys. It's just like an incredible, like looking at this now, this could be a solid trade to watch. If it doesn't happen today, this could be a trade to watch going into Monday's session as well.
If it happens today, I'll trade it with you because it looks like nice. It looks nice. I actually like this. Like this free consolidation. I haven't traded Amazon this year. Maybe I'll trade today and lose some money, and make my life a living hell. Like
Yeah, I was gonna
Like
say,
Brett does every Friday.
I'm not messing around this
I'll
Friday,
I'll I'll
especially
choose
after this
Spain.
week.
I'll choose Spain. Come hurt me.
Let's do chips. Let's do chips.
Nvidia. Okay. Nvidia I traded it yesterday, 163.70. Um, this is the short level from yesterday. We failed a breakout. Kind of sold into it. Held 162 demand if you guys remember. We did a quick liquidity grab on this area, and then popped up. So for me, long side today, we need to clear this 164. Any clearance of 164, define 30 cent, 40 cent risk and go long. I don't know how much juice it has. I mean, I was bullish on Nvidia when it was like 140. Over here, I started becoming bullish on Nvidia because I thought that it was going to rip, and I was right. But now, I think we're getting closer to the top. I think we're going to top out soon, at least temporarily, and go through a correction. Maybe we'll have room to 170, but I think the top is closer than we think on Nvidia.
I agree with you. Like I've been a perma bull on Nvidia for a long time, but recently, like my idea is, in the short term, there are still some longs to work off of, right? So you have your 161 level as key demand. You can still watch that. You also have 159 as key demand. You can watch that too. So you do have some like smaller levels of demand. You have landmines, right? You have some landmines down below you can watch for longs. But the thing to understand about Nvidia now is eventually this is going to require a deeper correction. I'm not talking about like pulls back to 160 and a little bit of a dollar to dollar bounce. I'm talking about this needs to pull back to 145, right? At some point in time, this has to pull back to 145. The reason why it has to pull back to 145 is, right, if you go to the 1 hour time frame there for a second on the video, and you can really look at what I'm talking about. So if you go to the 1 hour time frame, you're going to see that there is nothing. There has been no retest of that 146 level after it broke out. So you see where Rav has all the craziness of yellow lines there. See the army of yellow lines, right? Right when it broke out, the big crazy upside through the army of yellow lines over there. It has not came back and tested that level, right? So at some point in time, this is going to require a deeper pullback to 146. That's why for me, I am not buying more shares here. I've been sort of like slowly selling and letting some of my shares kind of go. I will still maintain equity positions on Nvidia, but I think that you should be expecting lower back into key demands, right? So 146 is where I expect this to go to at some point in time. For now, though, you have 161 key demand and you have 159 key demand as well. So watch out for it. Yeah.
Y'all making fun of my yellow lines. Come ask me for a level next time. I'm a just yellow line you.
They said the yellow brick road.
Andra, what is the level? Don't ask me. Is Spy going to go up or down? I'll be like, I don't know. Ask or some other guy. But I agree. Nvidia is closer to topping out. But the thing is, when it looks obviously weak, that's when shorts can get squeezed, right? So as long as we see that massive failure, really can't take it. Yesterday, I only signaled Nvidia because I felt like Meta. I signaled the exit too early, and obviously I did. Some of you held obviously, but I just felt like, okay, maybe let's just do another one. And then Nvidia, we got a nice 40-50% trade on that. But it's still not holding. As long as maybe 162 holds, we can't short this. But today, that's the level I have for downside. Upside 164. Let's look at AMD.
AMD, yeah. So
Yeah.
AMD is still the thing about AMD is it's a bit different for me than Nvidia. I know obviously they're in the same sector, but AMD is still 50% retraced from its highs, right? So AMD still has a lot of potential upside left in it, right? Now in the short term, I would be watching like today's session. If I'm looking to trade AMD, I would watch that 140 as key demand, right? So 140 for that little dead cat bounce. Also watch 142 as well. Yesterday was really about 142. Remember yesterday we spoke pre-market at 142. I didn't want to trade AMD to be honest with you yesterday because I took a 2K loss on was it Wednesday session on AMD. So I was like, dude, I'm not trading AMD today. Anyway, if I traded AMD Thursday session, I probably would have made a lot of money, but it's okay. Like I just didn't want to. I didn't want to double dip on this dumb ticker because AMD is one of those tickers that would just steal all your money and laugh at you. But if I'm looking to trade today on AMD, watch 142 and watch 140. Those are the big things to watch out for.
I like the 140.
142.
It can dip here, this area, I like it. Dip and rip.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, dip and rip.
Yeah, this will be nice. $3 away, so quick dip, lure and shorts under the trend break, and then 140 liquidated, pop up. That'll be nice if it does happen. This is another name, like we were talking about pullbacks and everything, right? But see how rotational AMD did the pullback when SPY was ripping. Now AMD is trying to lead, right?
Yeah.
This is the classic sign that market is not done yet. They wouldn't be buying dips if they think SPY is near a top. That's a classic sign here. Let's look at AVGO. 275 reclaimed, and now they are flushing again. So 275 reclaimed on this particular day a few days ago on Thursday, I believe, and we had a big break and we broke highs yesterday, and then we are failing here again. So the idea is pretty simple for this. For us, any kind of upside, they're clearly showing a top out kind of move here. Okay, so if they can reclaim this highs here, this 278 level, you can go long on it again. But as long as it stays under this 278, it is a short trade. And for a really bearish move, you want to see this 270 fail. If 270 fails, we could sell off big on this name. Okay, so Avgo is one of those names that's kind of printing failures ahead of time. So we want to invert this candle for upside. So basically, at least about 278 or 280 for upside. And if we want to go short, we need to lose 270. Those are the two levels. Someone asked me about Avgo. That's why I did that. Let's do PLTR. Bharat, you can take PLTR.
I'll spearhead PLTR. So PLTR is 140, right? So everything. So remember PLTR finds these very high volume levels, and it trades off of it for several weeks in a row, right? And for a long period of time, it was all about 125. 125 was a very high volume level, and you just saw so many reactions of 125, right? It was, if you're above it, bullish; if you're below, bearish. Now it's no longer about 125. It's about 140, right? So you saw the reclaim happen on Wednesday session, the 140 hold, and then from Wednesday session into Thursday session, it was about 140 holding again. 140 was low day on Thursday. Today's session, it's simply about 140. If we are above 140, you're looking for scalpable longs back into 144. If we lose 140, this goes back into 137, 136. So everything you do on PLTR is just simply about 140. If you're above 140, if then bullish. If you're below 140, if then bearish. Apple, on the Apple chart, I think Apple was just so nice yesterday, because this was your classic. Remember we spoke about this yesterday, Wednesday session. We spoke about Apple being the weakest name, liquidity grabbing under 208.50, and then reclaim ripping on that 211 area on Thursday session. This was an incredibly beautiful chart going into Wednesday into Thursday session. Now today's session, Apple looks like shit, right? Transparently, this looks like shit. I'll tell you guys when I have a good read on something. I also tell you guys when I have a bad read. Right now on Apple, I don't have any read here, right? It was supposed to just keep going on Thursday session into Friday, but because the gap down in the market, it broke this upside move. So I think we leave this one alone now, right? You leave it alone now unless it can get above 214. If it gets above 214, we could probably scalp it back for longs. But for now, even 211, really, if you want to be crazy, you can try 211. But that's not the highest conviction level for me. The highest conviction level for me on Apple is going to be above 214. If we can clear that, upside the market. So again, kind of just a bogus chart here, right? Wednesday session was really clear. Thursday session really clear. Friday, there is some opaqueness to this chart that we just don't know. We have to see what happens here. If it can reclaim, then we can trade it alongside.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, this 208 is 207.80. You guys can see on the dot as a previous test here. We held that, I think, yesterday or two days ago. And then we kind of pushed back into it. 210 held. So it's kind of, we need to either hold 210 or maybe dip and rip, or we need to clear this 215. One of those things needs to happen. We'll get our value, but on a Friday, I don't know. But if the market's supposed to squeeze, maybe we will see Apple also move, right? And that's one of the, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to look at coin. Someone keeps asking coin because of Bitcoin. 380, big level. 380 is the most recent test. So 380, as long as it holds anything 380, 370, what is it, 378, 380, that's the demand. I'm just going to draw a little green box for you guys. As long as it holds, this is the demand test. You get a dip into this area and then rip. You can go long. I don't like chasing coin like that, but 400 is also pretty close. So we may just rip into 400 also, right? Crypto is getting into that craze territory. So that is, again, if you guys remember last few weeks, I've been saying crypto is going to break out, crypto is going to break out. That is usually the start of the risk on environment. Don't be surprised if the market also follows suit and we rip a little higher.
Wow. Bitcoin ripping. You see Bitcoin?
Yep.
Look at Bitcoin. Holy Moses. It's at 118. It's at 118K.
Right. It's gonna rip. It's gonna get a lot of more people involved in this highs and then eventually capitulate. And that'll be our sign of top. I mean, when everything sells, everything sells. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin will also sell. And let's look at Netflix quickly. We can look at a few more charts before we call it. Now, Netflix, if you guys have been paying attention, this 1300 failure here was, if you remember, like a week ago, Stock Tuesday, I said this is closer to the top. And we had that failure pretty much the next day. And then we are kind of just using this 1300 as base. Every time we pop into it, we keep failing. Yesterday, 1275 level, I actually had it on my watch for on my official watch list, but I didn't think I posted that watch list. But 1275 was failure yesterday, so I'm going to draw a level here for you guys. So if market were to go up, right, we need to reclaim this level, right? For Netflix, we need to reclaim this level. We are close to demand here again. So if they can invert this 1 or 2 4-hour candles, right, this first 4-hour candle, and then half of this 4-hour candle, there's a good chance that they're going to invert this whole move and try to retest 1300 next week or the week after. Okay, right now there is no trade on a Friday with a volume questionable. I would stay away from Netflix. Brett, anything to add?
No, I mean, for me, just that huge trend line on Netflix is 1260. So for me, it's all about
Yeah.
1260 Netflix, right?
Yeah, 1262, the first one, and then the next one. Yeah, two levels. Like we need to reclaim one of those two levels for any kind of trade upside.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Microsoft, you want to go, Brett?
I'll let you do Microsoft. I don't really have anything on
I mean,
Microsoft.
it's just shit, guys. Microsoft's also close to top, but the thing is, market is strong, so every dip will get bought into. This 500 broke out. I told you, if you guys, a few days ago, I said 500 is going to break out, but I'm not going to participate. This is exactly the reason why. Breakout fail, and the next day we popped, and now again we're failing. So for any kind of good trading action, you want to see at least above 502. If 502 breaks, maybe there's a gamma squeeze possibility on this, right? 502 into 510, maybe we could do that. But as long as we stay under, I would not take it. For short side trades, you want it at least under this 4-hour candle as 494. 494 breaks, we can see a move into 490. Okay, so watch these two levels, 502 and 494. All right.
Wow, I mean, that's a horrible. Look at the 4-hour on this chart. It's just in
Yeah,
an insane 4-hour grind. Like it's literally
yeah,
just a zombie grind.
it is a zombie grind, and honestly, shorts are getting squeezed like way much. It's just they're doing a lot on the AI front, and they're integrating AI into a lot of their products. They're doing well, laying off a lot of people, making money. I'm sure their revenues, earnings, going to be great, especially considering what Amazon are going to also report. It's just we gotta just wait and see, right? But it's not tradable. Just because stock's going up doesn't mean you can trade it. Throughout this uptrending move, it's not a lot of day trading like rip opportunities. Every pop gets sold into and liquidated and then pop up again, right? The only time maybe you could have traded it well was here, and honestly, at this time, you could have made money on anything because SPY was also ripping, right? You didn't have to trade
Right.
Microsoft alone to make money, and so it's pretty much untradeable. I would stay away from it if you don't know how to trade this particular name. What else? What else? What else? MSTR, guys, smash the like button, guys. MSTR broke out, crypto breaking out. Like I said, this was coming in. So if you guys were able to long this around the 200 MA, you're probably printing. And right now it's a toppy area. I would say retest of around 415, 420. This is the area. Anything around the 4-hour area is where you could long it. So this is the zone here. I'm just going to draw some levels for you guys, so you guys can see it. Right. So these are the three zones: 424, 420, and 416. Use one of those levels as a base and scalp it. If it doesn't hold, sell. Try the next level. But these are the three demand zones here. Okay. And for MSTR, again, if you don't know how to trade these individual names, be careful. Spreads are going to be $20-30 wide, and when it hits when it goes in your favor, great. If it doesn't, like on a Friday, 0 DTs, there is no coming back from them. Okay, trade safe. UNH. Every time you guys ask about UNH on a day trading session, it is shit stock. Like I said, every pop gets sold into this green box is under very close danger. My guess is there's another headline coming on this, right? I've been saying this for a while. We've just like everyone just ran to buy the first dip, which was good money from 250 to 320. But ever since, it's just burning contracts. So any contract that you bought during high IV period, you're just getting burned into right now. A long-term equity you have, I don't know. It all depends on the company. But day trading wise, you can't day trade this. Swing trading wise, just hold and follow levels. These are the levels on UNH, right? 320, 300, 285, 273, 260, and then 250. Okay.
The thing is on UNH, right? And I'll say this: a lot of people are not going to be happy about me saying this, but I mean, if you're an equity buyer in UNH and do a key demand, it should just be a dip and go, right? Shouldn't it have gone already? And even look, I was a buyer of UNH as well. I bought UNH. I bought UNH at 275, 280 share, right? But it went to 300 and consolidated and is stuck there for weeks on end. I think at this point, I think the chances are it probably goes lower. I think it probably goes back
It
to 250,
definitely goes
240.
lower. It definitely goes lower because the thing is, what you know, many people know. And the people who are insiders who really think this, oh my God, this is a discount, and this has a double. From here, it's a double. 630 is all time high. right? If that was at an obvious double, people would have bought the dip and it would have like reversed
It would
already.
have ripped.
It would have ripped already. So if whoever's buying now is just contributing to the next leg lower, something is going to happen. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong for you guys. But I've been around this block like enough time to know to see when something is like obviously a trap. So this is be careful. That's what I'll say. I'm not trying to scare you into your longs or anything like that. I don't have a position, so I don't care. But just be careful. Follow levels. If you get stopped out, just get out, and then when you feel like it is a real bottom, you can re-enter. Right?
Yeah.
Don't keep holding and hoping, especially if you're in the green. Follow trails. That's what I would. That's my advice to you. PLTR we already did, right? We already did PLTR. Crowd
Yep.
strike. People are okay. This is the last chart, and then we can call it. Crowd strike. Again, not an iron that you can day trade, guys. It's trending, but it's just like Microsoft. Microsoft and crowd strike look like a very similar chart. Where we broke 500 here again, and then we're trailing. So for an upside trade, you want to invert this. In fact, it looked like the exact same chart, right? So you want to invert a couple of 4-hour candles. So I'd say 502, same thing like Microsoft, would be your upside trade. For downside, you want to see this 480 lose. 480 loses, we could see a $10 drop on CrowdStrike. Okay, can we call it, Brett?
Yeah, let's call it. We had a nice session today. We had a nice week so far. A little bit of ups and downs, but we're on top. And today's session, we're just going to cash flow. And that's it. That's our mindset. So, guys, thank you for joining in. I'll see you guys for live trading.
Thank you for joining, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Appreciate the support. Let's make some money today. See you guys later. Thank you.